Abusuani kuma our channel so Axie Age Politics Avenue. Podcast of training make headlines. And a jumre na EDB exum or need me on Braximu. Best rock say unia yambo in rap political highways in Jedema. Enye asem koto akra. Na His Excellency John Dramani Mahama uhwe adwuma oba na Ghana fu binum nanka omu epese enka papa no etoa so nanka oguso eye president ewo man mu okotetem na papa no in a close doors meeting with a year NDC Council of Elders and simbi abobobo ababontin dia dance say papa no nani enje ho say obetimi akọ eye ne prince aso na eno ena ya project flyer no e de ato screen so e de ama wo no na say ena flyer no eka was President Mahama reportedly addresses NDC Council of Elders in emergency closed door meeting. Family rules out third term bid. Unia sasemi ya meka ho asemi ya abujafo nso atrase omu edi ho nkomo. Best say yembon Pan African Television abra omu ajemre. Aha AGH Politics Avenue.
I mean, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Because it's clear, when Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia wanted to become president of the Republic of Ghana, he said so many things that, Ghanaians were actually convinced when he comes, he will turn things around. This man told us that he is moving Ghana's economy from taxation to production. That when he becomes president and the head of the economic management team, he will actually move our economy. The numerous taxes and the nuisance taxes, he's going to scrap all and then actually, focus on, moving from taxation to production. That brought what we saw, the one district, one factory, and other juicy promises that was intended creating jobs that at the end of the day, he failed woefully. When he was coming to office, our unemployment rate was somewhere around 8.4%. By the time they were leaving office, unemployment rate has ballooned to close to 15%.
Okay.
That was around 14.7%. Meanwhile, the only job you were able to create when you were given the mandate was NAPCO. And even with that, the 700 Ghana cedis, you couldn't pay NAPCO beneficiaries, you see. So he failed woefully there. This was the same man who told us that when he come to office, he will arrest the dollars and give the keys to the IGP. Ghanaians were convinced that, wow, this is interesting. Bawumia, hailing him. That the 4 cedi 20 peso to $1, when he come, he reverses to $1 1 cedi. He totally failed. By the time they were leaving office, the exchange rate were around 17, Ghana cedis. This was the same person who said, we are building airport at Cape Coast. We are building harbor at Cape Coast. The people of Cape Coast, this is what we are doing for you.
Right.
When President Akufo-Addo went there and they actually created, him, why it has delayed, he said, I don't have idea what my vice president was actually talking about. You get it? This man who said we are moving from taxation to, production, they ended up bringing about over 25 new taxes, including e-levy, COVID levy, betting tax, name them, a lot of nuisance taxes. It took the intervention of President John Dramani Mahama when he resumed office to scrap some of these nuisance taxes. So my brother, I can keep on and keep on and keep on and keep on to justify the reason why Ghanaian may not be interested in actually, seeing Mahama living.
I agree. But there's a saying that you leave when the applause are high. If you think that President Mahama has performed creditably well and he will be ending his tenure in probably 2 years or 2 years or months to come, why don't you just allow him to go and enjoy probably the good works that he's done for the good people of Ghana than to have subjected him of, contesting again, whereby we may have to cross some constitutional hurdles even before he's given the permission to do so.
My brother, nothing good comes easy. You see, when you want something good, you need to pass through a lot of things, including sacrifices and here and there. This brings back to your earlier question as to whether we don't have anybody to take over from him.
Right.
Yes, we do. But you see, we want continuity. The new person coming.
You say that you want continuity.
Yes, continuity.
Does it mean that any other person who takes over from President John Dramani Mahama is unable to continue?
Well, anybody who takes over from President John Dramani Mahama in the NDC is likely, to continue. But you see, my focus is based on experience. The new person coming in might not be experienced enough, like President John Dramani Mahama.
Is President John Dramani Mahama the most experienced politician in the National Democratic Congress?
No, not in Ghana. He's the most experienced
in Ghana.
In Ghana.
The most experienced.
The most experienced. This is someone we
politician.
Politician.
Okay.
And even president in Ghana.
Okay.
Because this is someone we have known to be an assembly member.
Okay.
A deputy minister, minister, member of parliament, caretaker president, president, name it. He has actually passed through all the levels of leadership. So who is more experienced than him? No one. So the experience of President John Dramani Mahama is the result of the wonderful economic, stabilization we are actually seeing. Now look at all the economic indicators in Ghana. Look at them. Compare the economic indicators now and then, compare them side by side when Nana Akufo-Addo was actually president of the Republic of Ghana. So you see, last week I was actually watching a video. Kumasi Market Women recently organized press conference and have been repeatedly saying that whether President Mahama like it or not, they want him to go for a third term. Kumasi Market, women. Kumasi Ashanti region is the stronghold of the, New Patriotic Party. Now, the table is almost turning. When you go to Kumasi, and you even mentioned MPP, no one seemed interested. Recently, I went to Kumasi to engage with some of the market women. I was shocked. I was shocked. The way they were actually, mentioning President Mahama, the way they were actually, hailing him and all that, I was shocked. I was personally there when about 200, market women boldly, decided to defect from the New Patriotic Party to join the National Democratic Congress. Market women who were die-hard supporters of the New Patriotic Party. You see, so always I say this, that it's not about President John Dramani Mahama, it's about Ghana. For me, regardless of the person's political affiliation, whether NDC or NPP, once the person is delivering beyond reasonable doubt, we all have to support him to continue. Ghana has come to a stage beyond NPP, NDC politics. At the end of the day, if you support someone because the person is in your party and end up collapsing Ghana, we are all in and we are all going to suffer for it.
Right.
Look at the time where exchange rate was around 17 Ghana cedis. My iPhone 13 Pro Max, I bought. I watched recently when I went to at the same price. It was almost half when I bought it when Akufo-Addo was president of the Republic of Ghana. So regardless of who becomes president, we should go beyond looking at the political affiliation of the individual in question. Rather, we should actually focus on the person's capability and what he's actually trying to put on the table. So I would say that even though, the president, clarification by meeting the Council of Elders has almost put in the issue to finality about whether he will actually go for a third term or not. I, Ibrahim Ali, a member of the National Democratic Congress, will encourage all supporters in Ghana to continue to urge the president to rescind his decision. He should rescind his decision and try to go for a third term. We just want 4 more. We just want 4 more. We are not asking much.
No, wait, do you really have an idea of this meeting that happened between the president and the Council of Elders?
I got a hint of the meeting, but honestly, I wasn't there where the meeting was being conducted. But I was told that the meeting actually was conducted, before the president left for the United Kingdom. You get it? So it's something that actually, happened. But it has not been officially communicated publicly by the Minister for Government, Communication. So I will urge President John Dramani Mahama that we love him. We are so crazy about him. We know he doesn't want to abuse his office. He wants to go in peace as a president who is not interested, who is not power drunk, like what we've been seeing in other countries. We know he wants to go peacefully, but for Christ's sake, what he's doing, we love it. What he's doing, we appreciate it. What he's doing, it had brought a lot of dignity to the presidency. If he leave, and God forbid, Nana Akufo-Addo's, playboy, Dr. Bawumia take over, we are doomed as a nation. Where will we start from? Where exactly are we going to start from if President Mahama leave and on a likely event that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia take up the steer? We are doomed. We are going to, he's going to collapse and actually destroy everything President Mahama has worked for.
So don't you believe that any other person who takes over from John Mahama is able to win election for them?
Anybody who would take over from President John Dramani Mahama, my brother, I am telling you by putting my appearance on this, your esteemed program on the line, that anybody who would take over from President, John Dramani Mahama in the NDC will beat Bawumia, totally. Bawumia will not garner votes anything more than 18%. I am telling you from what I'm saying.
Right, I'll come back to you. To neutralize the power, the president has in appointing security chiefs. But the court has ruled, and said the president has that power, to appoint those security couples. Again, we'll also be looking at persons who are pushing for the third term bid for President John Dramani Mahama. We are told that there was a closed-door meeting which was held by the party elders, and President Mahama reiterated that he's not seeking a third term. And so we are looking at these two major issues. I'm in the studio with Ali Ibrahim, who is a member of the NDC communications team, and Yusuf Nabing Gwande, who is also a member of the MPP communications team. And then I'll come to you, Gwande, on the issue of the NDC's, or President Mahama's third term bid, where the president has, indicated that he's not seeking, a third term bid, and that is something he would not consider after his tenure. Is this a good news for the New Patriotic Party?
Well, before we proceed, I'll say a special good evening to our cherished viewers and listeners. And we also send an apology to them for the delays in our program schedules.
Right.
Whenever it rains like this, it comes with a lot of challenges. So sometimes we will have to exercise some patience in order to prevent what we might not want to befall us. And so advice to everyone who is still out there and behind the wheels is that they will drive carefully, they will exercise patience and arrive safely and late rather than arriving as a dead body.
Right.
And so wherever we find ourselves after the downpour, everyone should remain careful. On the issues of whether President John Dramani Mahama should be running for a third term or not, is not an issue of a threat to the New Patriotic Party.
You think that President John Dramani Mahama, with his performance currently,
no, which performance
would
are
not
we
serve
talking about?
as a threat to the New Patriotic Party if he decides
President
that
John Dramani Mahama
re-election or he will go for a third
had
term?
never been a threat and will never be a threat to the MPP.
Oh, I see.
You see,
But he won with a margin of over 1.7 million votes.
because majority of our party people were aggrieved and never came out to vote.
Oh, I
So
see.
if you check properly, it only indicated that
So you mean to say that all the people who didn't vote in the 2024 elections were members of the MPP?
if members of the MPP were not pissed and angry with us because of certain things they considered unhappy about during our tenure in government and came out to vote in their numbers, you know for a fact that the John Dramani Mahama we whipped in 2016, 2020 is not different from the person we have now. And from the decision they've made, obviously it tells you that anybody who would even suggest that President John Dramani Mahama should be giving any
we en sema horo tim ko so channel so mam na wasa o jembre da sene so ba ni dia dumi edumi ania unia ye besan asom